We're going live. We're live, baby. How's it going?
What's happening, y'all?
We missed you guys Wednesday, unfortunately.
Yeah, not our fault.
Facebook had itself a little glitch, so we decided to move our show to right now. So here we are.
Boom.
A few days late and $1 short, but here we are.
Still got to get it in, you know.
Hell yeah. If you didn't know, I'm Nick.
I'm Eric.
We're talking interference sports. We bring you sports, whatever we feel like talking about sports related. And we cover
Bobby?
that. Bobby, what's going on? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. Pinching that green, baby. Well, I'll grab the yellow. But here we go. Grab that green. All right. So we're
And
talking.
remember, only assholes call it St. Patty's Day. You want to get into a fight? Call it that.
Welcome to the 28th episode of Talking Interference Sports. We talk about the major sports all the way down to your sister's kids' little league rugby or little league baseball team. Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it. We want to talk about it. Dude, crazy week for us. We had a crazy week. NFL had a crazy week. Spring training's getting hot and heavy. Rugby's getting nice. Hockey's getting into the playoff drive. Basketball is getting close to the playoff drive. March Madness is right around the corner. We're in a good spot for some sports. So let's start off by talking about what we did exactly 1 week ago, which was go to the USA versus Canada men's 15s.
Man,
Yep.
Bro, that was not just the experience was amazing, but that whole match. If no one saw it, that was just an athletic display.
It was crazy. It was seriously so back and forth, like, and then at the last second, the game came to a head, literally with seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it was in the 78th minute.
Yeah, it was close. It was so close. It was crazy.
For those who don't know, a rugby match is only 80 minutes long. So right at the very end, last minute and a half, USA scores a try to win it after just going back and forth with Canada the whole time.
Devin says, just got a new red dot for my AR. That's legit.
What kind?
What kind? What kind of red dot you got? Yo, nobody over here on Game Changers. That's crazy. All right. Well,
Better be a Trigicon.
a Trigicon. Well, the game was
Spend
really
that money, boy.
the game was really close. Why don't you give me a quick breakdown? I know you took some notes. So
I did. So
let's talk about it.
So Canada, I don't know, they won the toss or whatever. They were the visiting team, so they kicked to USA, and the first opportunity for points came for USA in the form of a penalty kick, which they made this time. So USA goes up in the first couple minutes of the match, 3-0. And then after some USA penalty, Canada answers back with a try and a conversion at 13 and a half minutes into the match, giving them the lead 3-7. And then a Canada penalty leads to a USA try at 18 minutes and 17 seconds, giving USA the lead 8-7 because they missed the conversion.
Ooh.
So, and it kind of went like that. The whole match, they kind of traded penalties back and forth. Canada got another try about 32 minutes into the match, and then they took the lead 12-8 because they also missed the
The
conversion.
conversion, yeah.
And then another Canada penalty sets up another USA try, and they make the conversion, making it 15-12, and it was 15-12 going into the half. Then after the half, USA gets a pretty quick try after that.
It was actually like really quick.
Yeah, at 45 minutes and 28 seconds, USA got a try but missed the conversion, so they went up 20-12. And that was Joe. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this last name.
Tafate. Yeah, that guy was on fire, dude.
Yeah, he scored 2 tries in this game, or in this match, and his second half try was his 5th
In two games. Yeah. Yep, he got a hat trick the game before.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So
he was on fire. He's
Yeah.
been killing it. So shout out Joe.
Yes, seriously. He's had a hell of a couple games. And he did really well against Brazil as well. And when they played in
Dan K,
Austin.
what's up, bro? Keep going. We're good.
Oh, nice. Canada comes back a couple, 6 minutes later with a try of their own, making it 20-19. They also made the conversion. USA kicks for points, 20-19. USA gets a penalty. Canada kicks for points. It's 23-22. And then Canada gets another try at 72 minutes and 58 seconds in the match.
So if you're not aware, there's 80 minutes in a rugby match.
Right. So that's
like really, really close.
That's
USA was
critical
in
time.
the lead. Canada scores at like the most critical moment, and then
right.
lead on.
And they kick a penalty kick after that, so they go up by 1 point. So it's 23-24. And then there's a yellow card against Canada, and USA
gets
the option or the opportunity for a penalty kick and miss.
Yep.
And but they get the ball back, and then they score a try at 79 minutes and 24 seconds.
So crucial. Yo, the whole stadium was going nuts.
There's 44 seconds left in the match, and they get a try, and then make the conversion and end up beating Canada 30-25.
Game over, baby. It was so exciting. Yo, from what I saw, from what Blair Walsh Day he says, that's funny. Ray Finkel laces out. The U.S. defense looked pretty good, but when it turned over to Canada, giving the ball to USA at the end of the match, like right before they had to score, Canada's defense was stout up until like the last second. If they had just fought a little bit harder, I don't think USA would have got it. Like, it was just enough to score.
But I think the decision maker there was was that a lot of the match was on the Canada side of the field.
That's true.
I mean, they were playing defense the whole, well, not the whole, but
majority.
I would say well north of 60% of the time they were playing defense.
USA's defense was great. I remember there was a point when USA had them on the try line, and there was like, I don't know, up to like close to 20, maybe 15 attempts at the try line to get across. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
It was stout.
And that happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
That actually happened 2 or 3 times. I mean, they got down right on the 5-meter line or the dot line, because I don't know if you're not familiar with the rugby field. There's a try line, and then there's a dotted line. It's called the dot line.
What?
Right? And that's 5 meters in front of the try line. So, and that's more has to do with penalties than anything else. But
it's still close enough to the try line where it's worth mentioning.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And making a stop on that, I mean, that's like all those times that we watched the Seahawks make that, every yard counts. And that's definitely on display
Super
in
crucial.
Pretty much every rugby game.
Right.
Is that every yard or meter they call it, but because
America is kind of funky. I don't know why we don't use meters. We're like the only country.
There's one other country, but
if they're not America, they don't count, baby.
There's countries that use the metric system, and there's countries who have been to the moon.
Okay. Yep. Boom. Shots fired.
Whatever.
USA.
USA.
I do want to say, it is close to St. Patrick's Day, so, happy St. Patty's Day or St. Patrick's Day. We literally just talked about St. Patrick's Day. But it is also 3/16, so shout out my boy Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yo, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. That's Stone Cold Stunner.
I didn't even think about that. Nice.
So, yeah, men's rugby 15. That was amazing. It was great. What an experience. I hope we get more media passes to cover other sports just like that and maybe some other stuff. It was phenomenal to go to. And
man, that was just so cool going to an international match like that. I mean, these are guys who on their perspective team are going to be playing in the Olympics.
Yeah. It was that good of a caliber of a game too. Like any other sporting event that I've gone to, this definitely, I don't know rugby well enough to say that was the best rugby match ever. I can't say that, but that was definitely up there on some of the better sporting events that I've ever gone to.
Yeah, I mean,
it was freaking exciting. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to an NFL game, but I've been to a lot of MLB games and other one MLS game, but you don't get that kind of
that vibe that everybody.
Yeah, and
the stadium's different. The vibe, the crowd, everything's a little different.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe just because of what it was, there was a lot of.
There was a Canadian chick up in the front row of where we were sitting, and she was yelling at her husband "Yeah, Canada, yeah!" when they scored tries, and I was like, "This is exciting! This is cool."
I mean, that
vibe was good. That was a good vibe. I liked it. If you guys ever get a chance to go to a rugby game, an international rugby game or an MLR rugby game, please check it out. That stuff's amazing.
Or a college rugby game.
Rugby in general is just I didn't start getting into rugby until just this year, so I love it.
I guarantee you will not be disappointed. I know everyone, a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, it's a European thing," all that. I said the same thing.
So did I.
And I started watching it, and I was
awesome.
like, man, that takes everything that is good about football and replaces it about the stupid parts of soccer and puts it on a soccer field. Pretty much.
Devin says, "Yeah, I went to a Sounders game and got a migraine. I left 10 minutes into it and threw up on the ferry back to Bremerton." Dang.
Jesus.
Yeah. Maybe cut back on some of the beers. Hey. No, I'm just kidding. Keep drinking. Drink it away. All right, so moving right along. MLR. This is a little post-dated. because of where we're at in the week. But United New York came out with their fists swinging against Utah Warriors, 47-21. Glendale Raptors came out knowing they would get the W against Austin Elite Rugby, 38-19. Toronto Arrows came up with the victory in a 27-20 match against the San Diego Legion, and local defending Shield champions Seawolves moved closer to NOLA Gold with a win over the Houston SaberCats, 27-14. Bring it home, Seawolves. I like it. The rankings now, as they were on Tuesday when I wrote this, were NOLA Gold, 21 points in first place. The Seattle Seawolves, 20 points in second place. Glendale Raptors in third with 20 points. New York United at fourth with 18 points. And San Diego Legion at fifth with 18 points.
All right, well, I will amend that because I don't think you wrote that after the Monday game.
I did not.
Okay, so they actually changed a little bit because I wrote this on Tuesday.
Okay.
And they've probably changed since then. But what I have, and this is from the MLR, is 1, NOLA, like you do, 2, Seattle, 3 is Glendale, 4, San Diego, 5, New York, 6, Toronto, 7, Utah, 8, Houston, 9, Austin.
Okay. All right. So I have one off. It's all good. It's all good. Changed up. Hey, they play games every weekend. They play games periodically throughout the week. So
and every match counts. Like
it's kind of like the hockey system where they get points for the match depending on whatever happens in the match.
Right.
So,
and if you look at because if you were looking at the records, there's no way that New York should be fourth.
no.
But they've played so many close games, and for example, it happened to New York. Playing the Utah Warriors, they got extra points because they scored 4 or more tries in that game. And that gave them extra points in the standings.
Yep.
And so, yes, a win is a win, but that's where it kind of differs from the MLR, or I'm sorry, from the NHL, is a win isn't just worth 3 points and, and like that. You get bonus points for getting more than 4 tries or having more people scoring than others, because the Seawolves also scored. There was another one anyway, but their kicker scored the most points because of the conversions and the penalty kick.
I think that was the game we went to. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, that was this week.
Okay. No, so and by the way, Jeff, I know we're right down the street, but I got stuff to do today, buddy. Sorry, man. We'll see you on Sunday.
We're going over there Sunday?
Well, I am. I don't know if you are. We don't have to discuss it right now.
Okay.
No need for the discussion right now. Okay. So, MLR standings in the books. Do you got stuff on MLB right now?
I have just one thing. The Francis Martez?
I don't know how to say that. I don't know. He plays for the Astros, right?
Yeah, he plays for the Astros, and he got suspended for 80 games for PEDs.
Hey, look at that. A-Rod, you set a good example.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure how to feel about this because he just had Tommy Johns in last August 15th. And a lot of times when you're coming off surgery, steroids are part of your rehab, regimen.
I feel like it is just what it is. And, the rule is you're not supposed to.
I know,
As
but
much as I agree or disagree with the sentencing, we keep having this debate. Well, at least I do. PEDs are against the rules. I was just sorry that's part of your surgery comeback, but that is what it is.
I just think this is an unnecessary black mark against his record, though, because the Astros weren't expecting him to play at all this year anyway.
Well,
he didn't. He's not losing out on anything extra by this, but now, he has to, if he goes to another team or whatever, which he's only 23, so I'm assuming at some point during his career he will.
He's not going to not play because of this.
Right.
But the rule is don't use PEDs.
But you think there has to be some kind of gray line if you're recovering.
I don't think there's a gray line. There is a black line.
Yeah, but if you have gout or whatever, you get a cortisone shot. That's a cortisone steroid.
I don't think cortisone pops up in PEDs, though, in the testing that they do.
Right, but cortisone or gout isn't nearly as invasive as a Tommy John surgery.
I totally agree. And, I absolutely
really don't know the ins and outs of the PED.
I don't either. But
whatever. But
plain and simple is he popped something for a substance he's not allowed to use. That's just where I'm at with it. Me personally, I think steroids makes the game a little bit more exciting. It shaped how pitchers are today. It's changed how things are viewed because of that black line. They have that black line so that players aren't getting a better advantage over guys who aren't using it, who don't want to do damage to their body.
I totally agree.
So, on raw talent versus a steroid-used player, there's a bit of an advantage. So I see why the rule's there, but me personally, I think it makes the game a little bit more exciting. And if you want to do it, do it. But there's the rule now that says you can't. So don't. Same thing with Josh Gordon. Stay off the weed, bro. As much as you want it. There was a football player that retired this year because he wanted to smoke weed. But they give him painkillers and all that stuff. But those are sanctioned and allowed substances that you can use.
Well, actually, I just read a story. This has nothing to do with professional sports, but I just read a story about a guy who he's facing up to 8 years in prison in Mississippi because he's from Oregon or something like that. He's a medical marijuana user and then went down to Mississippi to, visit family, do something. I don't know. But he brought his prescription with him.
It's illegal in that state.
But it's illegal in that state.
That's just a black and white. I still feel the same way on that subject too. It's not legal in Mississippi. Steroids aren't legal in the sports that we watch. Don't do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wish that and go to an American doctor. Stop using this
sports doctor.
I went to a doctor in the Dominican Republic.
Well, that's where they're from most of the time, so
I agree, but where did they actually get the surgery?
I have no idea.
Did they fly back to the Dominican Republic for the surgery?
I have no idea.
Did they get it by a Houston doctor or a New York doctor or a Boston doctor or a whoever doctor?
That's a valid point.
It's the same thing that I kind of called BS on with Robinson Cano when he was like, well, the Dominican is different. It's like, Yeah, it's different a lot of places.
But you play in the United States.
You signed a multi-million-dollar contract, and you didn't read not even the fine print.
At what point in the sport's more important? Dan says, at what point is the sport more important than your health? That's my question.
I think that's
a good question. Player. That's a good question. My opinion on it is that, and Devin also says same thing with Edelman, though he tore his ACL and then popped for PEDs. All right, all valid points, guys. But these guys, when people get angry that these guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play a sport, well, you signed a contract, and this is just where I'm coming from. Is because I signed a contract for the military. You got rules. And I look at it the same way. Is you signed a contract. Contracts are legally binding, to your profession. If you do something against that contract, you should be penalized. Even if we did something that was against the contract, that say we signed a contract to do a sponsorship with somebody and we did something wrong by using another item or another product that was against our sponsorship, we should be penalized for that. The rules are black and white. Just read them and follow them. I'm sorry if that's against your health, but that's the rules. That's where it's at. Edelman and this guy Martez, you got rules, man. Go do physical therapy. It's going to take longer. Yeah, I get it. But that's not putting drugs into your system.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Devin says, same thing with Josh Hamilton, played with Texas and addicted to crack. A bunch of home runs. Oh, damn. I feel like Devin is the kind of guy who might get escorted out of a live studio audience by security. That's funny, DJ. Yeah, totally true. Can we talk something other than this? All right, Nicholas, we'll move on. Can we talk something other? They know it's the matter of thinking they won't get caught. I agree on that. Blue Jackets play tonight. They do play tonight. I hope they do well. You pay your agent to sign your contract. I agree. Hey, you pay your agent to sign your contract, but you still look at the contract. I'm just saying.
I mean, you have to know what
you put your pen to paper.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know what you're going to be held to.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't, then
I'm sorry, I don't know why you're stupid for signing that.
Totally agree.
That's where I'm at on the subject. So, I mean, rest in peace to your career, Martez. I'm sure you'll get signed again.
It's not going to be a rest.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll get signed again. I'm just kidding. Kyle Seager continued to bring the Mariners some issues even before the season begins. He's getting surgery on his hand and will miss the entire month of April. And Felix Hernandez got bumped from the season opener and was not happy about it. But
is anyone surprised by that?
No, but pitch better, and then we won't have that issue. Sorry.
Yeah, man, I wanted that guy to do well, and he did. But, I mean, his days are behind him.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Honestly, and I love Felix Hernandez. Thank you for everything that he did in Seattle. Straight up. Great pitcher in Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Everything he's done.
And when he stood up there and said, I want to pitch in Seattle and bring a championship to Seattle.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah. I can't hate the guy. But
I'm surprised he's a starter this season is where I'm getting at.
Shocked.
Yeah. I think he might need some time in the bullpen as a relief pitcher.
I don't think that's going to last, but
dude can't get out of like 2 or 3 innings without giving up 5 runs.
And with the new rule change, pitchers have to pitch. I have to face 4 or 3 batters.
I saw that on the article where I read that he got bumped from the season opener spot, that Jerry DePito told him that they needed to start working on that curveball a little bit more, but didn't follow the script. And he just went out there rogue and did what he was doing. So I guess that's kind of where we're at with Felix. I don't know if we're going to see him again next year.
My gut, well, I don't think they're going to really trade him, so I think they just...
He has one more year on his contract. Like, this is the last year on his contract.
Then I think this is going to be his
last year in Seattle.
MLB.
Well, maybe in the MLB, but I think this is going to definitely be his last season.
Who's going to pick him up?
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't even pick him up as a closer, honestly.
He's got a nasty high ERA. I think it's up in like 5-something. But I love Felix Hernandez.
I do too. And I love watching him. I just think, honestly, I think his career's over.
I don't know if we want to go as far as his career's over. Because sometimes, last year he had some good outings.
Yeah, he had some good outings. Who's going to pay him?
He's not going to get paid what he used to get paid. There's a lot worse pitchers in the MLB.
Yeah, well,
Felix Hernandez is not the worst pitcher in the MLB. Like,
that's true.
Don't try and undersell him a little bit like that. I mean,
I just kind of think, I don't know. I don't know if his pride will...
I could see that because he was really salty about being bumped out of the first spot.
Right. I just don't think his pride will let him play somewhere else or at a lesser position.
Right.
And I think he might choose to retire.
Okay. Let me see what we got else in the MLB section. There was a Yankee guy who got injured just recently too. That was pretty crucial.
Good,
he says. Damn.
All of them? Was there
all
a
of
plane
them?
crash?
I hope not. That's horrible. It's terrible, bro. It's terrible. I don't see where it is.
I refuse to apologize for my Boston fandom.
There was a Yankee guy that
Red
got
Sox.
injured just recently, and it was pretty crucial too. So no need to change the name of King's Court though. Ha, damn, bro. 30. That's all I got on MLB then.
I still have my King's Court t-shirt. Can't wear it anymore. But...
Quickly, because I know we don't really talk UFC, but I like to talk UFC. Junior Dos Santos came up with a win over Big Nasty Derek Lewis in a TKO in the second round, and I was overly shocked about that. I thought JDS's days were a little bit behind him, and Derek Lewis was on the rise. So that was something worth mentioning. Okay. Phillies manager Gabe Kapler reinforced Harper's future right in the following of Monday's 8-2 loss to the Rays Spectrum Field. Harper's played 4 innings there, and afterwards he answered questions about playing defense for the first time this spring and playing a solid defense in the future. Harper's defense metrics got run through the ringer over winter as teams scrutinized and nitpicked everything about him while discussing their willingness to give him a record-breaking contract. And he says, I feel that I'll stay out in center and play well in center despite the scrutiny. You think he's going to stay out there? Thoughts on the Phillies?
Thoughts on the Phillies?
Yeah.
I don't pay a lot of attention to the Phillies.
Brutal. Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's in the WWC Western Championship.
And Conor McGregor got
arrested for robbery.
Yeah, it was strong arm robbery, and there was another charge too.
It's because he grabbed somebody's phone and smashed it because they were recording him at like 4 o'clock in the morning coming out of a bar. But you can't do that, man. You're Conor McGregor. You can't do that, dude.
Right. I mean,
you can't do that.
He's worked hard enough to make that amount of money that's the reason people are videotaping him. So he'll grab it, smash it, do just what he did, and they can sue him and make all these like bullshit charges.
What bugs me the most about this, though, and it really, really gets my my UFC MMA thought process really going. What really bugs me is at one point, Conor McGregor was one of the best, if not the best, MMA fighter on the planet at that time. We can have the debate if you want to, but I
totally agree.
Just saying, Conor McGregor was one of the best fighters at the time when he was on top.
Until he decided to fight Floyd Mayweather.
When was the last time we saw Conor McGregor in the news for winning? This is what bugs me.
4 years ago?
I think it was in 2016. I did a little bit of research on it. I think it was in 2016. But this is what bugs me is because we're still talking about this guy, giving him a little bit of attention for breaking a phone, and he's not winning fights.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that was really UFC attention. That was, tabloid.
I'm not relating it to UFC.
Bullshit.
I'm not relating it to UFC attention. I'm just saying we shouldn't be engaging with this guy the way that everybody is because he's not winning. The best thing about Conor McGregor is that he was talking as much trash as he was talking and would back it up. And he's not doing that anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, why is Mike Tyson interesting? Because even though he hasn't fought in 20 years,
Because he was the greatest heavyweight in the world, and then he became a sweetheart. He was a dog. He was like, I'll bite your ear in a boxing match, dog.
Oh, I totally agree, and I remember watching those matches.
I would much rather talk about Mike Tyson breaking somebody's phone than Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that's a fair comparison.
I was not trying to compare
Okay.
Mike Tyson to Conor McGregor.
Okay.
That I wasn't trying to compare the two, like career-wise or anything like that, or accomplishment-wise. But the reason I even watched an interview with Mike Tyson saying that it was interesting seeing the progression of people who knew him from boxing to knew him from, boxing and Punch Out and
Punch Out.
then nothing, and then like, oh, that's the guy from the Hangover movies.
Yeah. Yep.
And now that's how people know him. And sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought.
No,
there.
you're good, baby.
But I also watched another interview after that where he was talking about some nonsense about starting a weed college.
Yeah.
And,
No, I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
well, I thought it was cool too, just because it was Mike Tyson. And I was like,
I heard him talk about that on Joe Rogan's podcast.
That guy that, I think it's cool because I remember him boxing, and I remember, my grandma buying him on pay-per-view, and we'd sit down and watch, the boxing match. But it was just funny that these fighters
from this
stay
point to where he's at now.
Yeah, and I can't help but draw some similarities that you go from, like, here's a super good UFC fighter to now he's just some, tabloid sensation.
Right.
Conor McGregor comes out of a bar at 3
Breaks
in the
a phone.
morning, drunk, and breaks a phone.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? If you point a phone in my face at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning when I'm coming out of a bar, I'm probably busting your phone too.
Yeah. Devin says he's a businessman. He knocked out Alan over in The Hangover. And he said, didn't he rape someone? I don't know about that. And he said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a sweetheart. I'm not saying he was a sweetheart then. I'm saying he's a sweetheart now. He's a really, really freaking nice guy now. Super nice guy. Not that I know personally, but just from like what I've
The interviews I've heard.
what I've seen with my own eyes of him. So the AAF's going on right now. I'm just going to run over it. The last weekend, the Apollos still undefeated, looking nastier than the rest, 5-0. Birmingham Iron had a tough schedule, so I put them at 2. They're at 3-2. San Antonio's schedule wasn't as hard as the Iron, so they got one single win over the next guys. So I'm going to put them at 3. San Diego Fleet is in 4 at 3-2, and then the Hot Shots are at 5th. And the only reason why I put them at 5th is because they got more points against the team that was below them. So that's my rankings for the AAF. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that or not. I really think you should. It is a like really good scouting pool for the NFL. It's not good. It's not good football. It's entertaining. It's not good fundamental football. But
well, then I'll wait for the WNFL.
Oh my God. XFL's coming soon. I'll peep on that.
Well,
I'll watch that. Jim Zorn owns the Seattle team.
I know.
That's
I'm
so
actually
funny.
pretty excited about
Yeah.
that.
I'll go see an XFL game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna run over my quick NBA picks or my
Sure.
NBA top 5. This was written like 5 days ago. So Milwaukee picked up their 50th win of the season on Friday, just for the second time in franchise history. So I give them 1. Golden State All-Stars Klay Thompson and Steph Curry combined to miss 22 three-pointers in a stunning loss against Phoenix on Sunday. That's the most missed combined threes in a game by the Splash Brothers, according to ESPN stats. The Toronto Raptors are 48-9, and again, like I said, this was written a little while ago. So the Toronto Raptors are 48-9 since what?
48-19.
48-19, excuse me, since the 11th, and Pascal is locking down and the most improved player, and I think Kawhi is killing it. So I'm going to put Raptors at 3. Rockets. Again, I haven't looked at it in a little while, but they had 9 in a row and they were killing it. So no explanation there. And the Nuggets entered Friday with a chance to catch the Warriors for the top seed in the Western Conference, but were blown out in a statement against Golden State. This is why they've dropped to 5th. So I haven't looked at the standings since I wrote that, but I'm just happy LeBron's not making the playoffs. I don't know who I'm going to root for now that LeBron's out. Tyson served less than 3 years for rape and has registered as a level 2 sex offender under federal law. Was given 6 years ago, but served less than 3 in 91. Okay. Well,
Wow, I didn't know that.
again, he was an asshole then, but I think he's a pretty decent guy now. I still vouch for that. I still stand by that statement.
Well, I mean, Kobe was accused of
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So
But accused of, convicted of.
what else you got other than NFL stuff? 'Cause I wanted to save the NFL stuff for last just because there is a ton of free agency stuff going on. So,
I covered everything that I had.
you covered everything that you have?
Yeah, I've been sick and dealing with a bunch of other stuff.
You know what?
So.
It's okay, man. So, I also did not mention that we do have a promo code at SeatGeek.com, SeatGeek.com. Use promo code GCSN. If you want to go see Hanson or Slayer or go see a sporting event, you'll get $20 off using that promo code. So use that Slayer or Hanson.
Hop.
Hop. Use that promo code GCSN at SeatGeek.com and get $20 off your purchase. Devin missed out. He went to go and bought some freaking Sox tickets and did not use our promo code, and I'm disappointed in you.
Really, Devin?
Yeah. He went and bought seats for a Red Sox game and was like, "Well, I didn't use your code." Like, okay, all right.
And you're gonna tell us that?
Yeah. Damn. All right.
Get out of here, Devin.
There is so much free agency going on in the last week. We literally have no time to cover it all. But I just want we could cover the big ones. But that's not all that happened, and we'll hit the major ones, the deals, and I'll just briefly get into some speculation on some of it. But the big ones, the Antonio Brown drama is over. It's over. It's going to the Raiders. Going to the Raiders. How you feel about him in the Raiders? Yo, the Raiders have been making some pretty decent moves.
Actually, I like that move.
And they got a lot of draft picks.
And I think the Raiders might, if they play their cards right, they could be an up-and-comer. And as much as we criticized them last year.
I wasn't criticizing because this is exactly what I thought they were doing, was gutting it and preparing. I don't think right now that they're in a position to be Super Bowl contenders. By no stretch of the imagination am I saying that right now. But you will see them close in a battle for the playoff spots. And if they do make the playoffs, they're not going to make it very far. But they look good. They have a ton of draft picks this year, next year, and the year following. So John Gruden got a lot of scrutiny this year. And like I said multiple times, I give him a 5-year runway, man. That's what I'm saying. I give him a 5-year runway for absolutely gutting this team. Like, they gutted it like they were taking home an elk from hunting. Like,
well, oh, shit. What's that saying? Something about complacency. Anyway. I feel like sometimes teams fall into that where they're like, or success breeds complacency. And even you can get that even from moderate success. And that's where a lot of teams think that I think that they're happy being middle of the road.
I don't think the Raiders were trying to do that.
I know they weren't, but there are some other teams that I think the Raiders and John Gruden were trying to avoid being like. Like, we're close to making the playoffs, or we'll make a wild card spot this year, but not make it the next year, or make it the next year, be in there, but not really be a real contender.
I think that's where they're at right now, but building to be better. But my thing is I think John Gruden knew that he was going into this to try and make a new team. I think he went in there with the intention of trying to build new team with young talent. And I know Antonio Brown's not young talent, but I don't think he's past his prime. No. So, snagging up Antonio Brown is a good move. We're moving towards looking at a very good contending Oakland Raider team, and it's not just because of Antonio Brown. Don't think that I'm saying that.
Well, and a lot of teams, I mean, even teams that have an actual chance at going to the Super Bowl, I mean, they'll pick up a more seasoned player. Or even
because these guys can learn the playbooks quick. Like, it's easier for
right, but they can also give some they can also polish
quicker.
Well, and they can also help polish younger players too.
Yep. Okay.
And you can also get like the like a lot of teams have, but I think probably the best example of in recent years, even though they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, was the Seahawks use of Fred Jackson a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 34, 35-year-old running back, and sorry, kind of coming off a cold. They made it decently into the playoffs, and they used
Fred Jackson, the best way that they could.
35-year-old running back, and he made the difference. He made a difference in that team.
Amari Cooper is a great young wide receiver. I think sticking Antonio Brown in that locker room is going to just elevate him a little bit more. So
that too.
Odell Beckham Jr. was traded to the Browns. Tell me your thoughts on the recent underdog Browns and where they're at now. Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr. Boom, boy. That freaking offense is nasty, and their defense is no slouch either.
Yeah, I mean, we know from last year their defense can keep them in games. I think right now all the pressure is on Baker Mayfield.
I agree with that.
I mean, he has a huge amount of talent to hand the ball to throw the ball to, whether that's a wide receiver or a running back. Because in case you missed it and we're like, oh, it's just the Browns, Nick Chubb can catch the ball too.
Yeah, Duke Johnson can catch the ball.
Duke Johnson can catch the ball.
They got Kareem Hunt, but he's suspended for 8 games. It's half the season. But when he comes back, that's going to be a beast.
Yeah, and he's going to come back in the last half of the season.
When it's the most important.
So you can come back with, he threw this many interceptions, but he didn't have Kareem Hunt. He didn't have Odell Beckham Jr. Now, I mean, they had a decent offense last season. And a lot of that was, there was an inexperienced quarterback. And it's going to be tough for him because very rarely do you find a quarterback like Russell Wilson who can just step in and be like, or a Tom Brady, or somebody like that who can just step in and be like, I got this shit.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yep. I agree with that. I think Baker Mayfield might have that killer instinct, though.
A lot of times you have to, you're going to get your next quarterback like Green Bay did with Aaron Rodgers being an understudy for Brett freaking Favre.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me that being an understudy for Brett Favre didn't produce a better Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I mean, how could it not? I mean, it's Brett Favre. Even at the end of his career, just watching that guy do his thing.
Seriously. I got you. All right. Okay.
And I think that's where, like oh my gosh, Jackson.
Bo Jackson?
No, Travaris Jackson.
Oh, Tavares Jackson. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Don't know where you're going with this.
The one from Baltimore.
Oh,
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. That kid, I'm telling you. Yep.
I mean, yes, he got to watch
Joe Flacco. Whoever.
Sorry, I know you made a run for him for being in the NFL or the Hall of Fame, but and he should be. You convinced me he should be. But there's a big difference between Joe Flacco and Brett Favre.
I agree. Totally. 100%. I agree with that.
And was he really an understudy for Joe Flacco?
No, he wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean,
I
did
hear
he
you.
really learn anything from him?
Probably a little bit, but not
Maybe a
nearly
little
as
bit,
much
but-
as Aaron Rodgers for Brett Favre.
Right.
I feel that. I get what you're saying. All right, so let's start with the Jets signing Le'Veon Bell to a 4-year contract. A 4-year contract for $52.5 million, which is less than what he was offered with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a shorter amount of time. How you feel on that one?
Honestly, I think that just shows that Pittsburgh's going downhill and that for whatever reason, I'm not going to speculate on that, but I think that just shows that he just wanted out of Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right.
And I think
You
that,
like him in New York?
I don't know if I necessarily like it, but
I think there's better fits for him, but
I
you know,
agree.
New
but
York will be all right. Le'Veon Bell will get paid, and they'll still ride it mediocrely.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think they paid too much for the guy, and it's not going to get him anywhere. But
Former Seahawk Trey Flowers takes a 5-year, $90 million contract with the Lions. That's me deep. I miss you, Trey. Thanks for everything you did.
absolutely.
Ugh. Why do all of our decent players go to the Lions? I miss you, Golden Tate. You should have gone back to Seattle. Where'd he go? He signed with somebody. I can't remember.
The Jets.
Was it the Jets?
I think it was the Jets.
I miss you, Golden Tate.
Because I think the Seahawks are doing their best to stay loyal, but also take a page out of the Patriots
You know what the thing is?
playbook and try and find young people
I don't even really think it's that. I think they're looking to keep the guys that they have right now and draft.
Yeah,
I mean-
they're trying to get people for cheap. They're trying to get the next Doug Baldwin, the next Cam Chancellor, the
They
next
got smacked.
Earl Thomas on a rookie contract.
Yeah, I hear you. So this one's interesting. Nick Foles signs with the Jags for 4 years for $88 million, worth up to $102 million. After that happened, Blake Bortles was traded to the the Titans. Excuse me, the Titans.
Bad move for the Titans.
Good move for the Jags. Moving on. Colin Landry lands a $84 million contract that includes $45 million guaranteed, or $45 million. Yeah, $45 million guaranteed. Excuse me. So he's found a home. Sheldon Richardson is signing with the Browns again. I'm telling you, they're making some moves.
They are.
Signs with the Browns for 3 years for $36 million. The Colts signed Fuchs, the wide receiver, to a 1-year contract up to $13 million. The Rams signed recently released Eric Weddle for a 2-year contract, $12.5 million. Cordell Patterson is signing a 2-year, $10 million deal with $5 million guaranteed with the Browns. Excuse me, the Bears. All the B words. And then the Bills are signing Cole Beasley to a 4-year, $29 million contract that includes $14.4 million guaranteed. I thought he was going to end up on the Patriots. I'm just saying. I thought he was going to go to the Patriots. The Chiefs signed Carlos Hyde to a 1-year, $2.8 million deal. Earl Thomas signs with the Baltimore Ravens. You knew he was going to leave. You
Yep.
knew he was going to be gone.
Yep.
but it still hurts to see.
I know. I prepared myself for that.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does suck, but you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks his leg in preseason.
Ooh, don't go there, bro. Damn.
I don't want that to happen.
I don't either. I don't either.
I want the best for the guy. I
I
really
love
do.
Earl Thomas. He's one of my favorite players. I hate to see him go.
I totally agree.
Ugh.
But
On a positive note for the Seahawks, KJ Wright re-signed.
yeah, for his 9th year in a row.
He signed a 2-year contract, so he'll be here up into a decade. Tyrann Mathieu signed with the Chiefs. I'm still looking. I'm sorry. Still looking. I know there's some more. Teddy Bridgewater re-signed with the Saints. Yep. He re-signed with the Saints.
Nice.
Golden Tate went to the Giants, not the Jets.
Oh,
The
Giants.
Giants. Yep. Dante Fowler goes to the Rams. Excuse me. Mark Ingram went to the Ravens. Ooh, okay, check this out. So the kicking woes in Seattle started with them getting rid of Stephen Hauschka.
Mm-hmm.
Then they decided to do the Blair Kick Project, which was a fiasco.
Don't remind me.
Then they got old Seabass.
Yeah, don't crush my smokes, Janikowski.
Don't crush my smokes, Janikowski. I like that. It's good. Get off my lawn!
Man, when he tried to make that block, that's what reminded me of. It's like, oh no.
He didn't even try to make a block. What are you talking about? He ran in front of the guy and got out of the way.
I know. That's what it
It
was
wasn't
like.
even a block.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It's
Yeah.
he was going to, and then he's like, I don't want to crush my smokes. And then
Damn you, Seabass. I had higher expectations for you. But
he's 67 years old. What do you expect?
Seabass
you might-
Seabass outplayed the guy, Jason Myers, I
Man,
think is his name.
you might as well have had frickin'
Don't do it, bro.
might as well have who the hell?
Gandhi?
No, the dead guy that wrote all the comic books. Stan Lee.
Oh
What
my
else? Stan
God.
Lee out
Don't
there.
hurt Stan Lee like that, bro.
Love you, Stan Lee.
Love you, Stan Lee. You gave me a good childhood. Anyway, Seabass outplayed, apparently, the kicker from the Jets, who was on the Seahawks practice squad or the spring training, whatever you call it. And the Seahawks released him. Then the Seahawks went through a whole season of Seabass, let Seabass go, and re-signed this guy from the Jets. So the Seahawks out, and the guy, I think his name's Jason Myers. Not 100% positive.
No, it's Seth Meyers.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Seth Green.
Oh, okay.
Seth Rogen.
No, it's Andy Milonakis.
No.
I got footballs in my pocket.
But don't call me a football pocket. Okay. So we got a new kicker. 3rd year in a row.
It's not Cody Parkey.
It's not Cody Parkey.
Damn it.
Rest in peace.
I thought it was going to be for sure. As soon as he missed that kick, I was like, Seahawks.
So that's another one. I'm looking forward to seeing how the kicker position goes. Terrell Suggs signed with the Cardinals. HaHa Dix signed with the Bears. Yep.
God, I love that name.
Yeah, HaHa Dix.
HaHa Clinton
HaHa
Dix.
Clinton Dix. Clay Matthews is still a free agent. You gonna sign him, or are the Seahawks gonna take him? I'm just kidding. You don't want that old guy anymore. He gets too many roughing the passer calls.
Man, hand that dude a pillow and he'd still get a roughing the passer.
Adrian Peterson re-signed for a 2-year, $8 million contract.
Nice.
Kyler Eifert got a contract too, for a 1-year deal. So I hope his rehab is going well. Eric Berry was released. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at on the free agency. And I guess I don't really have too much else to talk about, unless you do.
Oh, well, if anybody is in the Bremerton area, go check out my boy Brian at Silver City Tattoo.
Oh.
Just hit him up yesterday. Got that little honey.
What is that? Black cat?
Yeah, Black Cat on 13. Fucking killed it for me. Sorry. He killed it for me. So, yeah, check him out if you like, traditional style tattoos.
All right. Take this.
Mm.
If you guys didn't know, we're giving away a Pete Rose autographed baseball bat.
Yes, we are.
So there's that.
I'll just hold on to this so people can see it.
Keep it in my back pocket. We got a Ricardo Lockett autograph photo. 4,256 hits, guys.
Yeah,
Ricardo Lockett.
ignoring the gambling. Good dude.
Showing all the cameras. Ricardo Lockett. As well as
Carl
a
Lockett.
Cam Chancellor autograph photo as well. We're giving away all 3 of these, and we're going to make our promo video shortly after this live stream and put it out. So if you guys want to support the channel and get some free items, here you go. And look forward to that. Again, if you're getting tickets to any kind of event, go to SeatGeek.com, SeatGeek.com. Use promo code GCSN, get $20 off your purchase. Go to Tabby's Coffee in Everett. Get a coffee, tell her we sent you. Got any other plugs? Check out Jeff's Basement.
Yeah, Jeff's Basement. No.
Check out Rockcast.
Eat more ass. I don't know.
Eat more ass. I like it. Okay, so that's the end of the show. Episode 28, man. We're almost to 30. Whew,
I know.
almost to 30. All right.
Got to do something special for 30.
Do we?
No,
Mm,
we might.
we'll do it at 100.
Oh, okay.
We'll just get really blackout drunk.
Nobody wants to see that.
Shave my head and your butt.
No, but definitely nobody wants to see that.
We're going to 100, baby.
And then we'll shave Nick's head.
Live. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Look out for our promo video. Giving away some stuff. Bye. Happy
See ya.
St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St.